Hey friends, welcome to Woman-Owned Wallet, the podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Dare, a serial entrepreneur who has already made all of the money mistakes, so you don't have to. Now I'm working on my money mindset, expanding my companies, and having open conversations with women around a subject that shouldn't be so taboo, money. My company, Woman-Owned Wallet, and I are determined to help you foster a more positive relationship with your wallet and help you create a life that makes you say, wow. Welcome back to the Woman-Owned Wallet podcast. Amanda here. I'm so excited that I have someone literally who left the dinner rush at the restaurant because this podcast and you guys listening to her story are just that important. So thank you, Nichelle, for literally bringing me sausage and shrimp. I can smell it from here and my mouth is watering. So if I sound different, that's why. Nichelle, thank you for coming on the podcast.
I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yay, I'm so happy to have you here too. We were just chatting a little bit. So if you guys don't know Nichelle, she is the seafood lady. I wish people called me something like that I was famous for and then lady after it.
I love that name. A lot of people don't even know my real name. Everybody call me the seafood lady. And I answer to that. And it's the name of my company, but it has really worked out well because I'm a lady and I sell seafood. So,
I mean, it's like the perfect fit.
Yeah, it is. And
how did you get it?
Yeah, I was going to say, best of all, my customers actually gave me that name. When I first started out, we were selling food out of our home. And I hope I'm not moving too fast.
No worries. You take it. Okay. Take it, baby.
But we were selling food out of our home. And a couple months later, we went into our food truck. Once we got our food truck, we decided that we would name ourselves what everybody had already been calling us because we didn't have a business name. And so I was the lady that sold seafood and people would just say, oh, I'm going over, the seafood lady.
Yeah, going to the seafood lady. Yeah.
Not literally, but literally the seafood lady, the lady that sells, the lady that sells seafood.
That lady that sells the most amazing seafood.
Yep. And it came down to the point where I had to create a LLC, a legitimate entity, a real business now. It wasn't a hobby anymore. It was a real business and we had to put a name down on paper.
Yeah.
And we said, the seafood lady.
Yeah.
And it was there. And that is what we've called ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you keep saying our. Do you have a partner?
Yes, I have a husband. A husband, a partner.
Husband and a business partner, life partner.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Business partner, best friend.
I love it.
Yeah, kid's father. Me and him have been together for 12 years now.
Yay.
And so when I say our, I'm speaking of him because I couldn't have done this without him. We are called the seafood lady, but
does he mind?
He doesn't. He does not.
They don't call him the seafood man?
They do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. A lot of people call him the seafood man.
I love it. So 12 years. How'd you guys meet?
We met in a club.
Oh, yeah?
Right here on Market. We met in a club 12 years ago when I moved here from Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah.
I met him there and we've been together ever since. We went on a date. I ghosted him for a couple weeks and then I finally called him and we went on a date. After that date, we didn't leave each other's side anymore.
Oh, my God. Yep. I love love.
Yeah, I love life. And I love him to death.
Oh my gosh, totally.
Yeah.
I talk about my husband sometimes just because there's so many people that have supportive partners, which is, I thought would be more rare, to be honest. And my husband, we've been together, we've dated for almost 15 years and we've known each other almost 20. I know, look at your face. You're like,
wow, incredible.
Jaw drop. I know.
Yeah.
Well, we met in high school and I just started talking to him because my teacher was trying to separate me and my bestie at the time, who turned out to be a terrible person. So I'm really glad she did. Talking about mean girls in high school, my best friend turned into one. Or not best friend, but So I just started talking to him instead and then I couldn't stop. And here we are. But
been together ever since.
Been together. I mean, well, actually I was dating this other guy who I didn't realize at the time was completely putting me down and wanted me to just live the life that he wanted for me. And I was like, no.
Yeah, not really what you wanted.
This doesn't feel right. And so I just said for 4 years that we were friends before we started dating that he was in training.
Yeah.
I was like, you saw everything I hated.
Right.
And you're none of that.
Well, it seems like it worked out.
It totally worked out.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting because like he and I got to come to your soft opening of your new location here in NuLu. So if you guys don't know, Seafood Lady is on the Woman-Owned Wallet tour of NuLu. So she's within walking distance of our store. So if you come visit the store, you got to go get some seafood.
That pamphlet is actually in my glove compartment. And I have one also in a frame at home in my room on the wall.
A frame?
Yep.
My heart.
I love that that little pamphlet. It was one of my favorite things. I really loved it. And I appreciate you for counting us in.
Oh my God, 1,000%.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening here is that Nichelle fangirls over me and I fangirl over her like hardcore. I think mine's worse, but now I'm thinking that since you framed something I like made, that maybe we're equal.
Yeah. I mean, I love you.
I love you. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys. Listen, we can just be besties from afar always, but I don't want to be from afar for that much longer. Okay.
Right. Well, we're neighbors.
Yeah, we're always neighbors.
We're neighbors.
I love it. Yep. Yeah, you remind me, like we were talking before, and you're like, your energy, and I'm like, your calmness, I need it in my life. Yeah. Free time to be like, I don't know what's happening here. Yeah. It's crazy.
I haven't always been this way. It did take some time and some patience, some understanding, some praying. It took a lot to get me to this point, but I love it here.
Yeah. It's more peaceful.
It is. There's not many things that people can do to rattle you. To rattle me, yeah. Of course, I'm human.
Yeah.
Of course. You poke me too many times and you might get a lion.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But
they poke me, they get a panda bear.
Yeah.
That's what my mom calls me.
It takes a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. I feel like for so long, especially within business, so I've owned businesses since I was 20. And how old were you when you started? Was Seafood Lady your first business?
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
No,
I didn't know that. Had that entrepreneurial spirit real early.
Yes. My mother was an entrepreneur. So it runs through my blood.
Yeah.
My mother owned something similar to yours. It wasn't woman,
like a feminist gift shop.
Yeah, it wasn't feminist. It was a clothing store, a boutique.
Oh, cool.
And
I love a boutique.
Yep, it was amazing. So she did a boutique, and she also had a beeper store back when beepers were popular.
Beeper store.
Yep, I think I was about 13.
Gen Z's listener are like, what the fuck is a beeper?
What the fuck is a beeper? Exactly.
I never had one myself, but I lived that beeper life with like my parents and stuff having them.
Well, I had one. I think I was maybe in the 9th or 10th grade. I did have one, of course, because my mom owned the store. Yeah. And I was the cool kid at school, the first one to have a beeper. And I got my friends a couple beepers, so I was cool for that.
Yeah.
But that is where I got my entrepreneurial streak from, my mother.
That's amazing.
And so a mixture of my mother and then my grandfather was a chef.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
So did you like cook with him often?
I did. That is where I learned how to cook really good, is from my grandfather. Most of my recipes and the things that I do and my motivation comes from my grandfather. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, what kind of stuff would you guys cook? Did you cook seafood?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, he cooked seafood. He cooked the fried rice that is really good that I have not put on the menu yet. My husband keeps asking me, when am I going to put it on the menu? But for me, it's one of those things that's very close to my heart.
It's like personal.
Yeah, like people ask me for recipes, certain recipes. I share recipes all the time, but there's some that I haven't...
You can't share everything.
I haven't progressed that much, Yeah,
you have to be able to like have those personal moments for yourself. And if that has such a positive memory for you and a positive impact on your story, like it's beautiful to keep that for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like make it for me sometime.
Yeah, I will. Most definitely. Anything for you, girl.
I mean, I love that you haven't yet. Like you got to hold some of that stuff like close to the chest. It's super important.
Yes, most definitely. Some things you do need to keep to yourself. Not everything you have to share.
Yeah, I agree. And especially in this world,
Yep.
It does that. So your first business, what age were you? It's hard to think back, right?
Yeah.
I can't even think back before the pandemic. So I'm like, I don't know how old I am.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
I am 35.
I'm almost 33.
Okay.
So close.
Yep. I'm 35. My birthday was February 22nd.
Happy belated. Yeah.
So happy birthday to me.
Yes. Happy birthday.
But my first business was...
I should have brought you a gift.
Oh, no. You're fine. No problem. I'll come buy me one.
I'll drop some bud. Don't worry.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I need. But my first business was a waist shaper business. So I would sell waist shapers to women. Some men would buy them as well, but it was a bandage that would bond your stomach and your waist and supposedly reshape it. So it would reshape it, and if you work out with it, you'd start looking good. And it was an amazing product. I used it myself for about 4 years, and it did well on me. It's worn off now, but then it looked really good. That was my first business, selling waist shapers, and I sold a ton of waist shapers then.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I started doing. After that, I went on to do eyelash extensions. But my most successful business has been the Seafood Lady. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy. I've had 6 businesses at this point. Some of them meld together a little bit. So sometimes I say 5 or 6. I mean, if you ever hear something else, I wasn't lying. I just forgot.
Yeah.
There's too much information in this brain. I can barely hold it all in. So I've had so many, but WOW is definitely my most, like my breakout that has made, more money and not just financially successful, but I feel more myself. I feel like for so long I was struggling to find my own voice and to feel comfortable in my own femininity. And I was like really celebrating masculinity in my life. Like I have wonderful relationships with my father, who's the oldest of 5 boys. So I've got a lot of uncles. I've got 2 brothers. Like I have a great relationship with my husband. A lot of people think that I hate men or something. And I'm like, no, I don't hate men. I'm against misogyny, not against men. And I kind of had to break through that, a lot with men. And so I'm like, it's not that anything bad happened or I have these daddy issues. Like it's gross to like describe it that way or like have people say it to me that way. And like that don't know me and don't take the time and don't actually fucking care. And I'm like, okay, you just want to label me as something so you feel comfortable? Fuck off. Yep. But whatever. Like I don't take that stuff in the same way that I used to. And especially like in our lines of business, like we were talking about, it's you have to have that like shell around you to be able to protect yourself. But for just so long, I had been the masculine, portions of me are traditionally masculine, maybe being more forward, more aggressive, more just like ready, like determined. I'm like, these are not inherently masculine traits, but society is like trained us that they are. Society is like really like ingrained that within us. And so for so long, I was celebrated for the masculine, quote unquote side of myself. And as I turned like 30, I was just like, this doesn't feel right. Like I was actually making myself smaller than I realized and like really trying to conform and I was, been a wife since I was 24, like right after college, I have 2 degrees. Like we just bought a house. So we didn't do everything like right in order. And I always knew I was going to do something different, but until like different than the traditional, roadmap or whatever. But a lot of my life is traditional. Like not that many people have a high school sweetheart kind of thing, even though he was my college sweetheart. But, like haven't known their partner that long or don't have that stability that really having that partner, affords me. So there's like a lot of that's traditional. But then I was like, no, I kept struggling with this like masculine, feminine energy. And I was like, I've just never like really celebrated my feminine side. My mom and my grandma are both amazing. My grandma passed now, but it was right around that time of when my shift started to happen. My grandma had passed a month before my 30th birthday. She was so tough. And in the last moments, like she had told me that she loved me and like how proud of me she was. And I don't have memories of her telling me that before that moment. Not that it didn't happen, but I just don't have that impactful memory. So it was just like this big thing of like, I want to make her proud and she's so strong and she's so tough that she's celebrated for her masculine tendencies as well. And my mom is that way as well because she was raised by my grandmother. So it was just so interesting because neither one of them speak. They're their sisters and they have struggled with feminine relationships. And so I've just been like, oh, I really need this in my life. So I'm just like, I want a sisterhood so fucking badly. Like, and at the beginning, I was definitely sounded like that, really desperate. Mm-hmm. But now I've like flowed with my feminine and with my masculine energy of like, no, I'm willing to push through that fear and push through those really generational curses kind of in a way that have molded me to be who I am. And so like really kind of stepping in and having WOW and helping me find that feminist voice that is also strong and is also tough, but is well-rounded and has the balance of the two has really helped me to find more of myself. And I feel like it seems like this fun, cute gift shop. It's like, yeah, of course, it's pink, whatever. And like that makes it girly. And I'm like, no, it's just I fucking love pink. That just worked out.
Yeah.
You know, that it's inherently girly or like somehow that can, you know, a color can really threaten a misogynist man and he doesn't even want to come in. Well, that worked out great because I don't want to talk to you anyway. I'm not going to change your mind because I might just, you know, have to be too chill to be able to run my business. But it's one of those things of like, until I really stepped into it and it seemed like this fun thing. And it is. And it can be fun. Like feminism can be fun and playful and fuck around and we can fucking mess up too. Like it's not going to be perfect. And I like that I feel more comfortable in myself and in my business. And it's the one that's doing financially the most successful as well. Like it's super interesting how I feel more comfortable in it and it's becoming more successful. And I'm like, wow, the authenticity of those two things together, chef's kiss.
Wow.
Worked out really good.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information about myself, Nichelle.
I mean, I love it. And I love to hear your story and knowing, you know, what you have, your business. I love it. It's beautiful. It's an amazing business. When I come in, it makes me feel more feminine because the field that I'm in is very male dominated. And so I can relate to a lot of the things that you said, you know, about being masculine and so strong and having that man-like courage, you know, and you get that label that she's tough. She can take anything and nothing hurts her. Or she's a
bitch.
Yeah.
You know, it goes so far.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, I think I'm just strong.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I don't let you rattle me like we've said.
Yep. But I've struggled with a lot of the same things, you know, the masculine and wanting to find the more feminine side of things for myself because a lot of times I have had to be the strong one, you know, had to be the one that had the most courage. You know, I was put in that situation a lot of times. You know, previous to meeting my husband, I dated other guys and, you know, I had a pretty rough life, you know, so there's been my mom went to prison when I was 14. She were there for 6 years. And so there was a lot of times in my life where I had to take that dominant stance, you know, and trying to, you know, meeting my husband, marrying him and trying to take those coats off, you know, and shed those characteristics of myself has been a struggle throughout my life. A lot of people say, oh, you know, successful seafood lady and everything's perfect. Rest. They don't see the rest. They don't see the life that you live prior to, you know, and a lot of those things you're still wearing a lot of those things. Yeah. They're still in your backpack, you know, and it takes years and time and counseling and
absolutely
praying, a lot of things to get you through to a point where you are finding that more feminine side of yourself, even wanting to invite that more feminine side of yourself into, because a lot of times you block it out because you don't want to be seen as weak.
Absolutely. I think I blocked it out more than like I was like avoiding it. And I'm like, but why? What does that mean? You know, what do I think about myself or what do I think about like feminine energy that I'm not comfortable with? And I wanted to just address that. And, you know, I think losing, you know, my grandmother around that pivotal moment of like 30 for a woman is often so intense because they're like, well, you have to have kids and I'm not a mother yet. I'm like actually actively trying to become a mother and it's been a more difficult journey. And, you know, we're both in a place, my husband and I, where we're ready to take that on. And I can't even tell you the amount of shit I've gotten about that. Yeah. Of like, well, are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant? I'm like, leave me alone. Like, no. Yeah. I don't know.
When are you going to have a baby?
Yeah. And especially being married for so long and getting married, you know, we both have decided like, we got married too young and it like worked out for us. But like, you know, reality is like, we didn't need to do that. It was just kind of like societal, you know, went through it or whatever. Yep. But like,
need to get married.
Yeah. At 30, well, now your clock is ticking. All these things that I felt like I had heard before 30, even being an entrepreneur before 30 was like, you got to be a millionaire by 30. And I'm like, girl, I ain't no millionaire. I'm just trying to be out here and be like, I'm comfortable managing my finances because I had to address them and not avoid them anymore. And I had to deal with all of the bullshit that comes to us, you know, all the messages from just everywhere, or even the influences, you know, of our families. And, you know, my mom's this like spender, my dad's this saver, and it just always seemed negative. Like we were always celebrating like my dad's saving. And of course that's important. That's absolutely important. But we almost like made my mom feel bad for spending when the way I explain it is my dad's the bread. And my mom explained it to me this way, and my mom's the jam.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom would like pay, she would have multiple jobs sometimes. She's taking care of us. And, you know, she would like, I remember being in a dentist's office when I was like 5 or 6 or something, because she was doing the bookkeeping and the people that listen and type. So she was like doing, you know, her night job basically. And we would sleep on the couch and I would see the same, my brothers have the same memory. Like we would all see the same ads for dental. No wonder I'm obsessed with my teeth, you guys. Realizations happening now.
That's why.
but like all I saw, because, and it's a harsh thing to say, but like all I saw was my mom working really hard, and I wasn't seeing my dad as much because of course he's working and he's being the bread, you know? And so I like every time we got to hang out with him, I have the best relationship with my dad. I love you so much, Dad. It's just like, it's like I just see her working hard, but we're like making fun of her, or we're talking down to her for spending. Yeah. It like messed with me. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to spend the right way, in a way that comes back as an investment, and in a way that can, you know, help my future self have that life that I'm really trying to like create. Yeah. And I never knew when like good dad, I never knew bad dad. We didn't have enough conversation, I feel, you know, and I learned a lot of lessons the hard way. And I've taken money every single way you can think of to keep my businesses running. And I would do it again just because I love this life. And I love having the flexibility that I've created for myself. Yep. And having so much like issues with like ADD and some other stuff as well. Like, I don't think I can operate the same, like within the normal confines of, you know, the 9 to 5 and everything. She's just shaking her head all over the place. She's like, no. I couldn't. Yeah. Did you always know, like, I can't do that?
I always knew that I'm not
built for that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. My mom never worked a job during my childhood. She always made a way. She always had her own business, and that's how she, you know, I watched my mom be an entrepreneur. Right. And my father was in the military. You know, his side of the family was military. So totally different. Come from 2 different walks of life, but I followed behind my mom's footsteps, and you know, she guided me into my entrepreneurship. You know, even when she wasn't with me, I always got a lot of advice from her. She had very successful business as well. She kind of moved away from where we were up into Columbus, Ohio, where she is now. She followed me here, but I'm so excited about that because moms. Yes, exactly. Following us. So it made me be here. That's why. The seafood is here. Yeah. Oh, thanks, definitely. Mom. Most definitely. You're my mom now, too. Oh, my gosh. I love this. Thank you for, you know, sharing her with us. Yeah, most definitely. You know it. She would love you. Oh. Just like I do. So. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. Well, I feel like, you know, you might be combining a little bit now that I understand that there's some military influence in your life. Do you feel like there's some structure that maybe you received from that side a little bit? Yes, I do. Definitely. That is. Because like entrepreneurship is not structure. You learn structure along the way, but most entrepreneurs don't start out with structure. You know, they start all over the place and then things start coming together. That's how it was for me, at least. Oh, me too, girl. Yeah, I was going to say, when you start out with structure, you do have an advantage. But of course, a lot of us is not privy to that, you know, and I was not. You know, things, like I said, things came together for me after some time. So. It felt, I mean, from what you're saying, it feels pretty naturally that it went from cooking your home. Is that mostly just for the neighborhood, for friends, like people that knew the seafood lady? And then you said you got a truck, I guess, purchase. I've never had a food truck, but I have had a mobile boutique. And I bought that bus. She was old. Yep. She was old bus. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you bought the food truck from revenue, or did you have to take on any outside like loan or money or anything? Nope, we didn't take out any money. We actually, we saved the money. We saved the funds from selling the food that we were selling kind of from our home. Like I said, we started out from our home. We were a small little catering, so we would cater a couple meals, and then it went to, okay, today we're going to sell 50 meals, and tomorrow we're going to sell 100, and the next day we'd sell 150, and that's literally kind of how it went. And as those days would progress, we would get busier and busier and busier. Well, it came to a point where before we bought the food truck, we would have a line down the sidewalk in front of my home. And it got the attention of the city officials, and they knocked on my door, and they warned us that if we did not, you know, go into a restaurant or a food truck the legal way, that we would get in big trouble. Yeah, and like register and pay taxes and shit. Fucking taxes. And I never even thought to do any of that stuff because I did not
well, you're so busy making the food.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. When I first started it, I knew that it would be popular, but I had no idea it would be what it turned out to be. I had faith in it and I knew that it would be popular, but I didn't know that I would be here 7 years later owning 2 Seafood Lady restaurants.
Yeah. Okay, so 7 years.
Yep.
So the new Black just turned 7 yesterday.
Oh, really? Yeah.
What's your anniversary? Or what do you call it?
July 17th.
Oh my God.
Yep. July 17th.
Maybe that's why. Because we've had a lot of this, a similar, when you've been in business the same amount of time, at least it was my baby as well. It is my baby. It's still here. But it's one of those things of we probably had a similar arc of I was selling in tents, my dresses. I had 3 dresses, little black dresses.
Wow.
And then I went into my mobile boutique because there was enough demand for people to be trying on it's also just a big ass billboard.
Yeah.
So it was great. People would be like, oh, I let you over on the side, as you were merging onto the highways. Thank fucking God you did.
Yeah.
We're lucky I didn't get hit. I didn't hit anybody. Nothing happened. I can actually 3-point turn, not 3-point, but parallel park a bus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's 28 feet long, this bus. So we had, like I said, kind of starting small. Didn't realize, I guess it wasn't as popular. I wasn't selling 150 dresses.
Yeah.
But those meals, I swear, food does something to people, comfort and everything. I agree with you. I didn't know how popular it would become.
Yeah.
But you have to have that faith. So once the mobile boutique was just so popular that people are well, I want to shop every day. And I was oh shit. Because now I got to spend a lot more money and I spent all this money on the bus. And it was just through I did a Kickstarter. To get very first started, I got $5,000 and you had to give rewards back. So it wasn't $5,000 at the end of the day because you're paying for all this shit to give back. And then that was before I had one dress design. And then I had a Kiva loan. Have you heard of Kiva?
Mm-hmm.
It's a no interest loan that's socially funded. So it's like Kickstarter where people give you money. Yeah. But it's a loan. You don't have to give them rewards, but you have to pay it back.
Right.
So I had 3 years to pay back $10,000. For that, because it's socially funded, most of the people that are funding you, Right. So if you miss a payment or something.
Pretty personal.
Oh yeah. The stress of having those people know,
yep.
Whoops, yep. Sorry guys, it's a rough month in January, kind of thing is scary.
Right.
Which is part of the reason that they do it. And it's 0%.
Mm-hmm.
So that was amazing. Really, really useful. And I can't even tell you how much that helped because it literally built the bus.
Right.
And revenue, of course. It didn't just cost $10,000.
Yeah. Sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
It is really. And I'm not sure how much they're doing right now with it. I haven't checked back in, but I have given to multiple other businesses as an investor. You get to be called fancy things.
Yeah.
I've now invested in my other friend's business as well. And I'm just oh my God, this is a dream come true.
Wow.
It was $500, but I'm still fuck yes.
I mean, still an investment is an investment,
Right? I was put it on the roster or put it on the resume that I never made,
Sign my name.
Investor, bitch. Let's go.
That's me.
So, once I get to this place of opening woman-owned waffles one day, I'm Nichelle, help a girl out.
Oh, I'll be right there.
What do I do?
As long as I can stop eating, because that just sounds
Do you love the waffles?
Amazing. I love waffles, and it sounds like a guilt-free place,
Totally.
Women-owned waffles, it's about women here. I can sit here and eat, some women are kind of reserved eaters.
Not a woman-owned waffles.
Exactly. Not a woman-owned waffles. It's about us,
No, you get in there.
I'm going to eat all my food off my plate. I'm going to eat it
pick it up with your hands.
Yeah,
It's covered in whipped cream.
Yep. A place where a woman gets to be
a woman.
Yeah. And just kind of dig in. Yep. Not wiping your mouth every second, and just enjoying.
No, it's basically it would be Galentine's Day every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you watch Parks and Rec at all, but Leslie Knope, do you know her? Nope. It's Amy Poehler plays her character. So, but she loves waffles and she created Galentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
So I'm obsessed with her.
I have to look into that.
She's she would play me in a movie, I think.
Yeah.
It's similar energy.
Oh, nice.
If you do watch Parks and Rec, don't watch the first season. Watch the second one. It's way better. Parks and Rec, recreation. It's it's kind of, I don't want to say it like this, but I don't have a better way to say it. The Office, but with a female lead.
Got it.
And there's not a bunch of awkward misogyny, in it.
Yeah.
So it's better.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's her and her best friend and they run the parks department.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to check it out.
Honestly, it's super cute. And just the first season's kind of like, they were trying to make it like The Office and it's not, it didn't work. So they found their own vibe in the second. And you don't miss anything by not watching the first one.
Wow.
So,
okay. I'm gonna be looking that up.
I feel like most series though, you can't watch the first episode. They're figuring it out.
All series, like, I have a problem. If I start a series, I have to finish it.
Oh, you do? You're like a binge watcher?
I'm like, oh, God, I can't leave the TV.
What's your, like, favorite? Like, have you been watching lately?
I like drama.
Oh, dramas.
Yeah, I don't have time to watch TV a lot. Normally, by the time I get home, I'm dead tired.
Yeah.
And I'm not watching a lot of TV. So most of the time when I do watch TV, it's on Sunday because we close at 6 o'clock. And normally I'm at home by 6:30 or 7 on Sunday. And so and Monday too, because I'm closed on Monday.
Nice.
So those are the days
I love that you give those days to yourself. You have to.
Oh, yeah. Those days. But I still work, of course. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. I'm always on call.
I'm still behind the computer watching TV, and working, sending emails at the same time. So
yeah, but it feels different.
It does.
You get to choose to work that day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So dramas.
Yeah. Okay. So dramas. Well, I won't say drama, but mostly reality shows.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Yes. And CSI and Law and Order. And,
yes.
Oh, Chicago Fire.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
that type of drama, like.
I love it.
Those are my type of shows.
Yeah.
And Love and Hip Hop, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of like reality vibes are you? Are you like housewife? Like
I am. Yep. Housewives, love them.
Me
I love
too.
Housewives. Is it Housewives of LA?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Oh, God. I love them. And of course, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes. I love them. They are so dramified.
Oh, my God.
But the girls are catty.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I love drama when it's not mine.
Yeah. That's the drama that I can, go home and watch, enjoy it, and pull out.
Yeah. You're right back into life.
No dealings. And, it's like,
yeah.
That's your drama life. That's it. Because that's all you have time for is TV. Like, I don't like her. She gets on my nerves. But you're talking about the TV character.
Yeah.
That's my drama. That's it.
I love it.
And then my CSI and my Law and Order.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I used to want to be a FBI agent.
No way. I wanted to be a crime scene investigator.
Look at there.
We would have met then too.
See?
We would have been like the best team.
We would have kicked ass. It's never too late. Never too late for us to do a little FBI work.
Never too late.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like true crime podcast, like lover all the time. So I feel like even if it's just that amount of CSI work.
Yep, just a little bit FBI NuLu. Keep everybody in order around
investigating.
Here.
Watch out.
Investigating. Yep. So, I mean, that would be really cool. But those are my favorite. I can sit back and watch this stuff all day.
All day long. Yep. Oh, my gosh. Potomac's one of my favorite. Real Housewives of Potomac. I loved New York for a long time. I loved Bethany Frankel. But this past season just fucking...
all over the place.
I was like, nah, it's not working. It's not working. And they knew it because they didn't even do a reunion. So they know.
Oh, wow.
And they got to correct that. But Beverly Hills, I think, has always been my favorite because of just the glamour.
Yeah.
The straight up, I'm paying for a glam team everywhere I go. Do you watch Salt Lake?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Salt Lake's super fucked up and great.
Is it glamour?
They have a lot of glamour on Salt Lake, but it's really interesting because there's just so many different religions on. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've learned a lot, just about religion in general. And it's not all about that by any means, but being in Salt Lake, there's the Mormon community, but I feel like each housewife is a different religion. So you'd think being in Salt Lake City, just stereotypically thinking about the community there is Mormon. You're oh, we're about to learn about that. And I think traditionally, and I might be incorrect, but Mormon women aren't supposed to be working there's a lot of Mormon women that do blogging and stuff and influencing because it's not really working and they strive for perfection. So it's just something that I thought I was going to be watching that. And really all of these housewives are so diverse and so interesting. And some of them are ex-Mormons and they talk about it. But it's just across the board, super diverse. And the drama for only having 2 seasons is fucking amazing. But I think they all do have their glam teams. A lot of them do now because it's gotten so much better. But I mean, Beverly Hills is my favorite.
I would absolutely love a glam team following me around all day. Girl. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it. And I don't have freaking time to stop and check my hair or anything.
That's why I wore this hat today.
Yeah. Most of the time I don't have time for any of that stuff. So I would love to have somebody follow me around, dressing me up, doing my hair. I would probably...
Real Housewives of Louisville going and we'll get those glam squads.
Yeah. But some days I just want to crawl into my bed and I don't want anybody to touch me or anything. So I guess I would call them off some days a week, I'm sure.
You'd be like, not today, glam
not today.
squad.
We're not touching me today.
We cannot glam.
I got my hair done 4 times yesterday, So, I would love it
today.
Yeah, I would love it, but I'm sure you would, get a little overwhelmed sometimes.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So
I would rather be doing that than this.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, you want to glam me up all day and put me on TV?
Yep.
Actually, I think I would be a terrible housewife because I just want everybody to get along. I'm like, oh, you guys, can we just talk? But my husband said it's actually really powerful for me. And he figured out why I like it so much because they fight and then they don't, for the most part, they become friends again. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a good representation of that in my life of like female anger and female fighting and like drama and stuff. It's mostly like, no, once, it's over.
Yeah.
Like I have
You're
so
dead
many.
To me.
Yeah. And like I'll give somebody everything over and over and over and again. But like once I hit my limit of like, you've taken advantage too long, we don't speak.
Yeah.
Like I don't have anything left. I gave you everything. Mm-hmm. And I gave you everything multiple times over.
Yeah.
And I let, I'm like trying to learn what that like trust is and be like, okay, am I comfortable with this? And like, I'm too open sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I've started to learn that though within my discovery of myself is like when to put that up and when not to. But definitely I think seeing them fight and then seeing them come back together is like actually healed me a little bit of some of those like fears.
Yeah.
Because I've had multiple friendships just break over one fight. I thought that's just what happened like through college and after. And I've had more business partner breakups than I've had relationship breakups. So it's just like, I don't know, it's just interesting to like see that. And he's like, oh, well, you like it because they talk to each other after. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, I can definitely relate.
I think I like the glam, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I can definitely relate. I haven't had a whole lot of friends, but most of them I'm not friends with anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's because you're my best friend now.
Yeah. For many reasons, but.
Well, it's hard for people to understand us, in our lifestyle too.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. I've lost some friends over my lifestyle, Some jealous, some don't understand why I can't be at their every beck and call anymore. But yeah.
Well, and having like 2 businesses is, 2 locations is so much. And kids.
And a husband.
Exactly. Running a household, running multiple businesses. Like, dear Lord, it's so much, but
And not to mention, my parents own. It is. Life is fucking hard. My parents own a seafood restaurant. My brother owns a seafood restaurant.
No way! It's a whole family business.
It's a whole family thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we all own them. My brother has 2 locations. My mom has 1 and a food truck. And I started first. So they look to me for a lot of things. They call me every day. We talk every day. I give them lots of advice. There's things that I've done, before them that they kind of follow along. They've done some things that I follow along. So we pat off of each other.
It's nice to have at least I know it's your family but to have that closeness and have, I don't have a lot of colleagues, peers. And I'm just excited to have you as a peer, you know what I mean? Like, cause you'll understand that, but it is pretty cool that you guys, have that, even when it's not always perfect, obviously. And it's definitely complicated. Yep. It's definitely also like pretty cool. I haven't always heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard that multiple people in the same family being like restaurateurs. Right.
Yep.
I almost said restaurateur. That's a dinosaur.
And they're all different names. And we have all been successful. I'm successful in my own and popular here in Louisville and in some points slightly nationwide. But my brother is very popular as well. He is probably 2 times more as popular as me. His business is probably 3 times more successful as mine. So he has a kick-ass business.
Good for the whole family.
Yep. So it's been a blessing, the field that we chose to go in has been very pleasing to us. It's definitely hard work. I worked my ass off,
Absolutely.
I just left work to come here. I left out of the kitchen. I cook your food. And
she cooked my food.
I cooked 80 more people food today.
Oh my God.
So before I left out.
You brought me this.
And I've been bartending today. I've been a plumber today. I've been a dishwasher today. I've done probably every field in my industry today.
Wow.
And I wouldn't take it away for the world. I love what I do. I would not rather ever be working for anyone else other than myself. But I will say it's it's a challenge. Some
Absolutely.
days are better than others. You can go 1 week and it's perfect, and then you go a month and it's terrible. So it has its ups and downs, but I really love it. It has provided for me and my family a wonderful lifestyle, has afforded me some things that I may not have been able to afford.
Tell us about her. Tell us about your bestie.
Yes. So my Tesla.
Oh my God, your Tesla. I'm obsessed.
It's always been, I won't say always because Tesla hasn't always been around, but
right.
I've always wanted a Tesla for as long as they've existed.
Yeah.
And I'm a very tech savvy person.
Oh, you are?
I am.
The worst.
I love technology.
People think I'm good. I'm like, nope.
Yep. I love technology. I mean, I'm really good with a lot of things when it comes to technology, and I keep all of the most updated things. I don't like old tech. I don't like old gadgets. I like all of the new things.
I don't want those beepers up in here.
Yeah, I don't want a beeper, which my mom, I definitely don't want a beeper. I had a beeper when I was 13 and I don't want to see that again.
Never again. It's probably like a safety thing though, because you're like tired after work and it drives you home. That's like great.
It is. It is. But then some nights I choose not to use it because I'm too tired.
Oh, okay.
And I don't trust it all the way.
Yeah, you can't trust technology all the way.
Don't tell her that.
She won't listen to this podcast. Or just don't listen to this podcast in your car.
Exactly. I don't want her to hear that.
She doesn't need to know.
No, she does not. But there's times where I do let it drive me home. Most of the time I let it drive me to work because that's the time that that is the time that I find the most solitude and my most peaceful and sound mind is on my way from home when my husband has left home. He's went out for his day to the gym. He's happy, check. The kids are in school. They're semi-happy, check. My oldest daughter, she's still in school as well, but she comes to work. She's at work, not happy, but she's there. Yeah, just to make money to get her hair and nails done. That kid is a whole nother story. Trying to teach her the means of, I'm going to go into something else really quick.
Yeah, it's fine.
Teaching kids.
Yeah.
When you are...
Tell me all the parent things. I need it.
When you have it's from what my mom... From my mom raising me to me raising my kids, it's night and day. It's completely different. But trying to teach kids that has
extra
almost everything that they can think of, phantom, for their mind, that the value of finances, the value of money, the value of credit, the value of doing things the right way, it's hard. When they see it flowing, right? And they think, it's going to always flow. And they don't understand that it's not necessarily theirs, that they also have to create a life for themselves. That is hard, and trying to spend enough time with them so that you can not only tell them those things, but teach them, is the hardest thing. Sometimes you're the nicest person in the world, in your career, and everything's perfect, and you have to put off, that's the facade that you put off, and you can't be rude to customers. You have to be nice, and even when you're having a bad day, you have to save face and smile, but when you get home, all that is gone, and now you got your kids that's needy, you have your husband that's needy, kid needs help with homework, daughter needs to help with prom dress, all of these things that's pulling you from here to there to here to there, and now you're home. And you have to find time for that. Yeah, which is the most challenging thing.
And for everyone else.
Some nights I go in the shower and I don't want to come out.
Yeah.
They're knocking on the door. Mom, 4 of them.
Oh my God.
Mom. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah.
But
that's how many I want.
I do wish I had more time for them, And that is a part of being a successful business owner and aligning things the correct way within your business. Speaking on opening multiple locations, I am excited.
I also say I need parenting advice. I mean, I don't want to call you just for advice. You can call me for advice. I'll help. I don't want you to just be this fountain that gives me all the parenting and multiple location advice, but I could use a little bit if you want to throw some my way.
You got some exciting things coming.
Yeah. So, I've been working on, I haven't even I don't have it rented yet, but in the very beginning stages of opening the second WOW location in Cincinnati. And I'm so excited because we have multiple other things in the works too. We're coming out with an app as well pretty soon that's going to have like educational courses as well as WOW classifieds. So if you want to work for a woman-owned business, you can come to us and the businesses will pay a couple dollars, whatever. And then and then I'm working on like a directory for just all women-owned, like there's a lot of stuff that's going into that place that I didn't realize because due to technology, I mean, now is available.
Yep.
And it's actually affordable to me to be able to operate that way.
Right.
So that's coming out, and this podcast and the second store are all in development right now.
Wow.
So there's a lot of moving parts with that.
Busy lady.
Busy. But what I'm scared of, and I'm not sure necessarily, this part, if it's affected you, but I mean, your locations are not close together. I mean, they are in the same city and you can go to them in the same day, but Cincinnati's an hour and a half away. Like I could get there and get here in the same day technically, but like I feel nervous about that part about it. I'm excited to like relinquish some control, but I have to find the perfect human to help me do that with running the Cincinnati space as well. So it's just going to be kind of a lot, but I don't know. Just like what's like one challenge that you deal with besides literally that they're in separate places? That comes with opening more than one location?
The biggest challenge is the last thing that you stated is finding someone that you can trust.
Hiring has always been hit or miss sometimes, and you try to go with your gut.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're doing a lot for our community with hiring as well. If you want to talk about that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually employ about 39 people between the two locations. And the food truck is getting ready to go up and running. And we have four employees that'll be coming back to that is consecutive. They come each season.
Gotcha.
And then we'll probably hire about 5 more. Wow. So about 40, a little bit over 40 employees that we employ here in Louisville. And most of them are, people that come from different walks of life.
Right.
I have a couple people that's retired and just looking for some extra change. A lot of people who come from poor background, and some people who are finding their way, fresh into the career field, young, finding their way, first jobs. Some people have been with us for some time and they love it with us.
Yeah.
They could be doing anything else. All of them could,
Absolutely. It's so rewarding, when you have all the employees. Like it can be very rewarding if it's like the partnership between you and your employee is mutual.
Yep. And
you're both willing to put in the things that you need.
Yep.
I absolutely think that. So I think if I'm like looking for this other person, in Cincinnati that doesn't live here, I just started offering health insurance. It's like a really big deal for me. It's my first person that I've been able to figure that out and like actually offer that. And that really like is one of the things I'm like most proud of this year, to be honest. Like I want to be a really great employer.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. And, especially you have, having 40 and having 4 kids and a husband. Like I know that my journey going through this and going into parenthood and going into multiple locations, and I don't plan for Cincinnati to be the last one that's out of town.
Yeah.
It's just, at least it's close enough
right.
that I can get there.
Yep.
And I have some family up there that I could stay with, so that will save a lot, but also will be another challenge.
Oh, that could be a game changer for you.
That would be helpful.
That would definitely game changer for you. And I have experienced locations in separate cities.
Yeah.
We opened a location in Lexington, Kentucky, mid-COVID. And however, we opened NuLu in COVID as well.
You did, yeah.
NuLu has continued to be successful. A lot of, because I am there a lot, but with the Cincinnati store, and that it was so far, there was some control that was relinquished and it spiraled out the wrong way. It didn't go well for me.
Yeah.
But I would do it again.
Gotcha.
Because I'm a badass.
Yeah, I believe in it.
I'll dust myself off and try again.
Exactly.
Try anything again, at least, But I will say, main thing is finding someone you can trust and setting up systems, having correct systems in place.
We're putting a lot of work into that.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel really confident about that. And I didn't used to feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only been a year and a half that I've had WOW, even though I rented the space 2 years ago. I just waited out, what I thought was 2 weeks of COVID to 2 years. But yeah, you have to, we've shifted a bunch of times and all of that. And it just feels right. Like, it's not even that I'm like super ready or anything. I go with my gut so often. Yeah. Which is funny because I have IBS. So you think I would like not trust my gut. Yeah. But it really helps me. I think my IBS is actually like my gut meter.
Yeah.
Like, it tells me what's right.
Guide you.
guide me, IBS.
Yeah.
Guide me through this life. And I just, when I went up there and I've gone to like scout, the areas I want to be and stuff like that. And I grew up there. Like, I mean, I'm from Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
My high school was there and everything. So it feels like the natural next step. And I did look at Indianapolis as well, but it didn't feel the same. I didn't have the same energy that I felt like that the Cincinnati area did. So I'm really excited for that. But I think I do need to be more in depth with my hiring process and not just trust this gut. And I mean, communication is of course key, and like really doing a lot of training and explaining a lot of those mutual expectations. Yeah. My goal as a leader is to always give more than I take. Like I usually say I expect a lot, but I give you more.
Yeah.
That is my goal.
Right.
And if I'm not holding myself to that, or if help me hold myself to that, basically. Right. So how do I do that in a way that, is benefiting you? And I don't want you to think of this place as your last stop. Like, I'm hiring like millennial women. So like we're all in the middle of I'm in the middle of my life. Right. This might not be my last stop. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want to develop you and like make sure that you're good for wherever you go after this. But just, remember that I'm going to expect a lot, but I will always try to give more. And that's kind of how I try to lead. Yeah. And hopefully I can find that person.
Yep.
Hopefully. All right. So I'm going to be calling you.
You will find them.
Being like, what about this bitch?
Yeah, you will find it. And I will be keeping in my prayers that God sends you someone that is for you and for your company and that has your best interests at heart. And I trust and I believe that you will find that, whatever. Just keep going, keep being you, keep being amazing, keep being positive, keep motivating, keep making women understand our feminism, and keep rocking, because you've done a great job. I'm proud of you. And I think you're going to continue to go on and on and on and keep building WOW, because it's an amazing idea. I haven't seen anything else like it. And I've been to a lot of different places.
Yeah.
I've traveled all over the world, and there's not one place like yours that I've seen. So keep it up. You are definitely
just crying over here.
You are definitely a change of speed for the world. So keep it up. Love it.
I'm not crying. You are. Literally, this is why I want women to rule everything around me.
Yeah.
Like it just feels right. It feels right that it's something that I've, haven't had for so long, and that I'm experiencing so much of right now. And I mean, what a great, amazing way to wrap it up. And like, I feel like a mirror, like all of those things you said, I just feel the same.
Thank you.
And I'm obsessed with you. When you came into my store and we met in person the first time, I was like, you're the seafood lady.
It was so natural.
I was just like, oh my God. And you're like, you're just so cute. I was like, she's so cool. I can't. So, I mean, just the fact that there's like mutual adoration there for somebody that I like literally look up to. And I'm just so excited to have in my life. Like, just so excited. So, I mean, just tell us really quick, like, let's wrap up. Where can they find you? How can they follow you? How can they get some of your amazing seafood? Like, tell us everything.
Yes, you can find me in the NuLu neighborhood, 601 East Jefferson Street. We are below the Hancock House, so you can actually get a little stay. You can stay above, come down and eat, go back up and pass out, so
eat so much seafood that you pass out.
Right now is Lent, so it'd be a great time to come in and see us. We have a lot of specials going on. Lent started today. So come out and see us, guys. We are nestled right here in the NuLu neighborhood. You can come and see us and a lot of our other neighbors, and it's a fun time over here. So come and see us, guys.
And I'll bring you some more maps soon, so they can just, they can stay at the Hancock House, they can eat your amazing food, and then they can shop at some women-owned businesses.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Perfection. I'm actually buying some like map stands and some other stuff, and we've redone it a little bit more. So they're coming.
All right.
I promise.
Well, I'm excited. I would love to see your map on our corners here in NuLu.
Oh, yeah. Like a directory.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm talking to that visitor center.
Yep.
I got ideas.
Yep. And one more thing, I think that your business model would really fit Nashville.
I know. I think so too.
Yep.
Yay. Okay, Nashville, I'm coming for you next.
Nashville. Yep. Honky tonk.
Honky tonk. I have to tell you this really fast too. Yep. So I did have a video I have had multiple of our TikToks go viral, but I don't know if you saw it since you said you're a fan of the TikToks. But we had these disco cowgirl earrings that have sold out 4 times in the last 4 days. And I have now like over 80 of them to pack this week. And literally they're a pink like cowgirl hat on top of a disco ball. And it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life, but just the amazing like amount of people that are from Nashville ordering that is like actually making me think you're 1,000% right.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that,
It's
but
crazy.
I definitely, of course, I see all your stuff.
Show you.
I've seen them.
Oh, you've seen them, but I'm like in person, I mean.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen them in person, but check your messages. I just inboxed you before I came in here about
really?
those. Yep.
You're like, can you say it?
I want a bear. They are so cute. They're kick-ass.
They
so
are.
I'm glad that you're having success with those.
They are, yeah. And I've been working with the maker, Alexis, that makes them. And, it's really cool because we're able to use this platform to like market these amazing, like independent, small women-owned businesses that might not have received that. Like when I was starting, I would have loved for that opportunity. So I'm like excited to provide the things that I was missing.
Yeah.
So anyways, we'll wrap it up here because, she's got to get back to serving like amazing seafood to amazing people. And I'm going to take my little goodies home, my sausage and my shrimp.
Yep.
And my husband won't divorce me because I'll share him with him.
Please do.
I will.
Please share with him.
I will. Well, thank you so much again. I'm just so in love and I'm so glad that I'm just coming out of that pandemic fog and I'm ready to be best friends with everyone and especially you.
Yeah. Well, this is a breath of fresh air. So
yay!
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy
Your first
that you invited me. Yes, first podcast.
First podcast. You heard it here. Seafood Lady exclusive.
Right. And I'll be back, guys.
Yes, come back. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.
If you want to put more money into the wallets of women like we do, then check out our website, thewomanownedwallet.com. And we can't wait to continue the conversation on our social media. So definitely follow us on our Instagram @womanowned.wallet and on TikTok @womanownedwallet. You can support us by following our podcast on Apple, Google, and Spotify. And don't forget to leave us a review. Thank you for listening to Woman Owned Wallet, the podcast.